One of the reasons I don't want a proper big yacht is because of all the expense and all the hassle that comes with them, really. They've literally spent all morning moving that boat literally 2 or 3 meters and doing bits and bobs for it, simply to prepare it to go in the water next week. So yeah, I've just been having a look over that boat. It's a Westerly Centaur and a full mast, sorry. And my god, it's a wonderful boat, but you walk around it and you realise, god blimey, there's so much stuff to do on here. And then where I'm sanding like a little patch on my boat, it's like meters wide, you know, on the boat like that. So it makes me kind of grateful I've got my little lugger, in a way, the king of dinghies, but the baby of yachts. This is one of the bottom ones. That's what came out. So that's what came out, and this is the top one, and you can see, you know, it's not that worn. I think it's not particularly worn. I think it's just seen better days. Now, we've now also got the new bolts, and you can only get these in a pack. These come in 2 sizes, so obviously that little one will go in the back. We've got another little one there, yeah. The bigger ones probably do go where it's a bit thicker in the front of the boat. However, 2 things that are different. The first thing is we've got washers with these. I don't know if I'm even going to use a washer with the other one, so we'll wait and see. So I assume that has to sit inside on the hull. The other thing is, I don't know whether I'll use this or this one. Rather than using this to tighten up, because I would need someone to help me, you can actually tighten this up, and then what we can do is just grip the top of this with pliers. We're going to chop this off anyway, so we'll probably end up using the bigger one for in here, so we've got enough to do that. And then this one will be for the outside. So there we go, we've got everything we need. The screws, here's the screws. So these are the screws that came out of the old one, and these are the screws that are going in. So is that right? No, that can't be right. Maybe. Look at that. That is awful. All we got to do is drop the rudder and it just catches it, and you know, that's what happened. It pulled the screws out and the screws were protruding through the hull. Now these are actually slightly thinner screws, aren't they? Yeah, so we may have to use some thicker screws, but look how much more they protrude. What we're going to do, we're going to screw these in, we're going to epoxy it up, and then if they protrude, we're just going to epoxy and fiberglass over them at the top until they're kind of fully covered, and that should be enough. I've just got to make good the surfaces under here, just to make sure we can get, you know, the band back on. I say hopefully it's going to be a quick job, but that is famous last words, isn't it? That is. Now I've just got my little this little blade that goes on my multi-tool, and I'm just hoping that will do the job, because I haven't got anything else with me. Yeah, this is doing the job. Now this bit doesn't really matter so much, because it doesn't matter if this hole isn't waterproof, because it just goes here. And but what I wanted to do was just put the Sikaflex. I wanted to put the Sikaflex all the way along here. So you just got to be careful you don't snap the band. And I'm not going to do it either side of the rudder box. What I am doing here is just giving it a bit of a clean and a rough up to give the Sikaflex the best chance of sticking. And then likewise, just under here, you can see actually where that's actually not really been against the hull there, has it at all? Because you can see it's like black dirt got in. So you may just be able to see that little bit of silicone. So I'm going to just silicone, yeah, you know, where the keel band goes, and then around where the rudder bearing goes. But that's obviously, we've got to put that in first. So only one thing for it, we've got to get under there. I've clamped the keel band to one side because it just gives me enough room. Now, got a little bit of a problem. This is where the keel bolt goes through. We can get to that. Now there is silicone under there, but I can't get that off. It's just not going to happen. And here there's no silicone. So what I'm going to do, I'm just going to put Sikaflex in as much as I can. It's been daubed all the way down. And then you'll see we've got silicone here. So we need to get rid of that before we can screw the new rudder bearing, as they're called, in there. Yeah, okay. The rest of this, I'm not going to glue here. We're going to glue there, or Sikaflex in there. So the first job is to get this off. I'm not going to be able to do that while you're watching, I'm afraid. All right, that was not a nice job, but we managed to get it all off. Hopefully you can see in there. We've got a nice surface here ready for that. But before we do that, we have to get screws up here and we have to get them epoxied in. So that's going to be the next job. Before we do that though, I'm actually going to fix one side in. So I've got the rudder bearing here and we're going to fix it in. Just have a little look what it looks like. See how this works? You can't get access to the screws. So what you do, you get the rudder, you get a little clamp and just clamp the keel band slightly, look, so you've just got enough room and you can just see the screw hole here. Everything looks in good nick, to be honest with you, down here. So let's get this rudder bearing in and see where it goes. So my Sikaflex is completely gone, so I've had to chop it up and find, whoa, we don't want to get the Sikaflex on there because it just do not come off. So I've found it's okay inside, but all this is gone. So we're going to have to use our brains a bit here. Now, the way we're going to do this is we're going to have to put enough on here so it seals it up. Oh yeah, look, it's even solid there. It's just this little vein. And gosh, oh well, we might not have enough to do the rest of the band. So this is just going to go all around, and then we're going to have to just clean out the screw holes so we can attempt to get some kind of epoxy up there. I'm pretty sure. Try to show you the best I can. So the new bearing is in, and I've had to hammer that hard home, and I can just start to see the Sikaflex underneath squeezing out, and that is rigid in there. So whether they're made a bit wider just for that reason, just so, you know, they fit in a bit better, I don't know, but that ain't coming out. And now what I've got to do is just clean these screws out of the Sikaflex and get the screws in. Now I've mixed some 404 up. Let me try to show you this. There it is. And I'm going to dip the screws in there and they're going up there. So wish me luck. Good news is, you know, that's screwed in as tight as I can physically get it. There's a few little cracks, very silent cracks. So I'm interested to see how far through they've come through. But that crack also means it's probably gone deeper and into the new fiberglass that I've done. So now all we need to do is repeat this process on the other side. So get this over there and do the other screw before all this epoxy goes off. Hopefully you can see that. And that was hell to get that one in. I had to put so much force behind it. I'm not sure if it was reaching the original hole. I don't know. So we'll have to wait and see, won't we, with that one. But what I'm going to do now is just jump into the boat and have a look inside, see what is what. I can see from here actually that these screws, look, have penetrated here and here. Ooh. Yeah, this is the old focus. So we just cut that back and we're going to build that up a little bit. But that's how they were originally, actually, with the smaller screws, which is why they leaked. Now we'll look down here. Let's just look down there. I don't know if you can see. I mean, that looks about right. It's hard to tell because of the keel band is off centre. So with Sikaflex, look, all under there, and it's all under the same under. I've had to sort of spatula it in with the wooden stick. And now we've got to get these bolts in. So the back one's the least of our worries. It's this one we've got to do. So I think we're going to use this large one. You can see where the Sikaflex is already coming through there. So I'm going to use that bolt I've been using to hammer with to push that Sikaflex out. And then what we're going to do, we're going to fill this with fiberglass or epoxy, which I've still got here. It's not gone off, thank God. And then we're going to bang that screw all the way through. So there's a bolt all the way through, as you can see there. And that will just pull up a bit more. There we go. Now that's going to sit on the epoxy like that, and then this is just literally going to bring it up. Now of course that won't, it's a nylock, isn't it? So what we've got to try and do is tighten that up, but without it spinning round. Right, here goes nothing. So I'm going to just hold this down there, just to hold it gently, and then we're going to, hopefully that will be enough just to get this bolt going, and then we can grab the top. Now the top we don't have to worry so much about because we're going to cut it off anyway, but the bottom where the pliers are now, we've got to be very careful of. There we go. Now we can grab the top, hopefully, and hopefully this theory will work. Oh, there we go. Right, I'm going to just check underneath to double check we're not pulling the bolt through the wood. The answer to that is no, but we're nearly there. Oh yeah, look, now it's not spinning at all now. I assume this has got to be fairly tight. That's quite good, isn't it? Right, let me go and check again. Okay, so that bolt is just starting to go up into the wood, so we can't do any more. Can't do any tighter than that. So let's get the back one done. This one I'm not even going to bother with. We're just going to bang that up there, put it in there, get rid of that, and get on with it. There we go. I'm hoping that once it catches, we get some tension on this bolt, you don't need to hold the bottom. That's my theory anyway. That's it, right. That's it, it's going up through, so we can't do any more. I don't know what colour this sets. I've got a horrible feeling it sets white, which won't be great, but we'll have to make do. There we go. Now underneath it has seeped out a bit, so I'm gonna have to see to that, but that'll be this job done. Right, so I got some epoxy brush, we've got some fiberglass there. I've just sanded and made rough these surfaces here, and we are going to fiberglass over them. Ooh, it's quite thick fiberglass this actually, so I hope it's going to be okay. And there's a little bit there. I'm just going to pop that around there like that. I just want to build this up nicely. So this resin, the sort of powdery stuff that sort of binds the cloth together when they're making it, that is designed to dissolve with polyester or epoxy, but you can't get one for both as far as I know. The only ones that work with both are the sort of layered mats, which are, of course, I don't think they have anything in them. Not my best epoxy fiberglassing, but it'll do. It's taken a while. These pieces are a little bit small, unfortunately, and they're just raising up this hard area to actually do. But what I'm going to do next time we're down there, we'll mix up some 404 and we'll just smother it in 404 as well, and then we'll also come down here, chop this bolt off and smother that as well, because that bolt needs to be chopped down, and then hopefully we will be watertight and hopefully this rudder will fit. What a day. I'm not going to lie, there are some jobs that you know you've got to do and you just put them off and you put them off and you don't want to do them, and that keel band and rudder bearings were definitely a job. I think for me, they're on the edge of my, it's not just my skill or competence, it's also my patience. I'm not very good at fiddly jobs, and you know, it feels like that rudder bearing's in really well. We've Sikaflexed the blooming heck out of that keel band, and we've tightened these bolts up as far as they'll go. And look, I mean, it's looking great, isn't it? So I think we're going to have to call it a day. Hopefully this nice warmth will do its magic overnight, get that Sikaflex cured and the epoxy cured, and then hopefully we'll be back tomorrow or the next day, and we'll crack on with the two things we've not done, which is the tent and the spray cover. The only two things that I wanted to sort of get a bit of progress made on, but I didn't. But we'll definitely do that next. I think now the keel band is done and the bilge pump actually is done, we're pretty much getting there. So yeah. My hands are filthy. Look at the state of me. You can't really wear gloves when you're doing jobs like that. They just tear and everything. So I'm going to pack the boat up. I'm going to call it a day. I'm knackered. And hopefully see you very, very soon. Oh, so you know, I mean, really, it's the 5th of March today. So next week, Bala is open. So we're bringing the boat down to Bala next week, hopefully. And the season will start. Loads to look forward to. So yeah, I'll talk about that in another post near the end of the winter season.